Do you have to pay attention to a diet when being highly sensitive, or can you eat whatever you want? We're gonna explore that today. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another bite-sized nutrition video. And today we're gonna talk about highly sensitive people and if there is such thing as a proper diet for them. So let's go. First thing we should talk about is what are HSP, or what is it like being an HSP coming from someone who is me. So let's go. HSP stands for highly sensitive person or highly sensitive people. And that kind of means living without a filter. That means HSP react a lot stronger to certain stimuli than other people do. For example, certain sounds, flavors, smells, stuff like that. Every HSP reacts a little differently to certain stimuli. So for example, some react stronger to sound, others react stronger to smell. I know I'm highly sensitive and I'm mostly triggered by monotone sounds like the clock ticking. I also very strongly react to anything spicy, which is why you will never see me using pepper or chili or anything like that in my recipes. I'm also getting overwhelmed easily when being bombarded with too many tasks at once, and I also feel incredibly overwhelmed being surrounded by a lot of people. I'm also easily affected by other people's moods, which kind of means their mood turns into mine. However, because of being affected by other people's moods so easily, most HSP are empaths. It's easy for us to understand how the other person is feeling and what needs to be done to make them feel better in a non-verbal way. A little disclaimer that I wanted to drop right here. Please be very careful with the term being highly sensitive, because being highly sensitive is different than being just sensitive to certain things. Being highly sensitive only means that there is a very high possibility that you are, not that you definitely are. Being highly sensitive has been part of scientific research for a little over 15 years, and for scientific research, this is definitely not a lot, and definitely not enough. New findings are released from time to time, but still not to an extent to fully determine whether or not someone is actually highly sensitive or not. Elaine Aron is one of the main people behind that research, if not the main one. The thing about being highly sensitive or not is you have to take tests online, and here's where it gets tricky. I am not a fan of usually taking tests online to determine whether or not you have like things you struggle with mentally or being highly sensitive or stuff like that, but there is no other way around to do so. I don't know if there are any psychologists who specify in that. Oftentimes you end up taking online tests. I took hundreds upon hundreds of self-tests to figure out if I'm highly sensitive or not, and that has been over the course of multiple months. I think the first time I ever found out I was highly sensitive was when I was 18 or 19. I'm 20 now. I am very careful with that term. I know that there is a high possibility that I am. I also know where it comes from, and I'm also very careful when other people use that term, and I try to let them know what being an HSP is actually about. So first things first, there is no such thing as the diet. It's more of like a guideline thingy that you can follow to improve your overall well-being when you are an HSP. Here is the thing. Some HSP may react sensitive to certain foods. I know for me it's pepper and chili, but other than that, they might as well react strongly to sugar, fatty foods, stuff like that. However, if you are highly sensitive and you know that there are foods that affect you mentally, here's a list of foods that are said to improve your issues. Vegetables should be the center of your meals, not just when you are HSP, but in general, because vegetables are very balancing, they're very grounding, and they're packed with vitamins and minerals, and they can be parts of salads, they can be parts of smoothies. With vegetables being the center, pick great support from whole grains. If affected by that, try to stay away from coffee, green tea, soft drinks, Coke, anything with caffeine. And if you really can't stay away from those, maybe try a caffeine-free version. Then also you could eat for blood sugar balance. If the blood sugar is low, HSP feel through anxiety, lightheadedness, tiredness, and irritability. Irritability. They're being irritated. Try to make sure to get enough magnesium and B vitamins, because stress is said to deplete our magnesium and vitamin B levels, and stress can also be something that is not really good for HSP. Keeping them up by eating vitamin B rich foods like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, leafy greens, and magnesium rich foods like whole grains, dark leafy greens, veggies, legumes, nuts, seeds, etc. I have a whole list about this on my Instagram in a story highlight, because if possible, try to not get those nutrients from supplements. You know my opinion about supplements, and I'm not talking about the supplements that are necessary for your diet, like B12 when you're vegan, but in general, do not take them to prevent certain health issues because you think, oh, my magnesium levels might be low, because taking them to prevent certain health issues can even cause the exact opposite. Now, a conclusion. So, to kind of sum this all up, because it's probably been a lot of input. So not every HSP is reacting to the same stimuli the way that others do. Not every HSP is super sensitive to food, but if you are, focusing on vegetables in a balanced way with much variety is a great way to work against strong feelings of stress and anxiety. Focus on a healthy relationship with food rather than a super restricted, incredibly healthy one that cuts out as much of the unhealthy foods as possible. Remember, those things are guidelines, and in the end, it's up to you what you eat, and listen to your body, eat whatever fools it, and whatever makes you feel happy.